Evening all. So let's have a look at another map here. Now I'm going to use this map as a dual purpose here. Firstly, we're going to look at being trolled again, and again I seem to be being trolled quite a lot lately, but we've got a guy on our team, in our squad in fact, who well, let's say he's under the effects of something, because yeah, he's got a dropship and he's armed and dangerous in a dropship. So you're going to see him pretty much pester us throughout this entire map. And this is also some sniping footage. It's been a while since I've done sniping, and I just thought I'd have a bit of a conversation with you all about that. Also, I'm going to use this video to maybe comment on the IGN live stream last night, where they had CCP developer obviously talking around the game, and maybe just some observations around that. So that's the agenda for today. So let's get started. Obviously, maybe just a quick comment on sniping. I've actually been leveling my sniper up. If I can't find a squad to run with, I basically just go and snipe. I know it sucks. I'm not the best sniper, so don't worry. I'm not, you know, kind of ruining people's games by elite trolling sniping and all that. I'm mediocre at best, but I do quite like sniping. It's a bit of a challenge. Obviously I use a mouse and keyboard, and again I get asked this probably more than any other question. Mouse and keyboard, just use any USB mouse and keyboard, plug it in, and you're away. You can even use a standard USB hub that you would use for the PC. I have one which I think is probably older than I am, and I've got it plugged in and into one slot of my PS3, and I've got my mouse and keyboard plugged into that, and then I've got my USB headset plugged into the second USB slot on the PS3, and it works a treat. So I think I would probably recommend doing that, because these Bluetooth headsets are just bloody awful, but anyway, give it a go. So yeah, I think sniping with the mouse and keyboard is particularly made easier. I mean, I couldn't even imagine if you guys are out there sniping with a controller and you're good at it, then wow, I'm impressed. I am very impressed, in fact, because it's almost impossible to do for me. But yeah, I think sniping is one of these things. Interestingly enough, I would say there doesn't feel to be a great deal of difference as you start to level up the sniper. But I'm learning, I'm getting used to it. I do like the tactical sniper. I think it's more my thing. So I generally will use this the tactical sniper. So our squad mate has just lost his first dropship, one of many that he's about to lose. So he's called in a tank, and again, I probably think he is under the effects of something. So he's not exactly you know, fit to drive, but hey, that's the way it is. So let's talk about IGN last night. Now, IGN did a really good live stream, and you know, I don't know if you follow IGN. They're pretty good. They have a good kind of commentary, and you know, they have a great spotlight on games. And I think they really did a good job, I think, looking at Dust. If you've never seen Dust before, I think it was a great introduction. I think a lot of people were slightly miffed, if you like, that they didn't show anything maybe new, which would have been good. But they certainly alluded to a number of new things coming down the pipe. So obviously PvE was a big one. I think the graphical changes that are likely to come are also on the books. It was interesting because the guy that they had from CCP was one of the most phenomenal talkers I've ever met in my life. And every time he said you know, every other syllable, the immediate thing I had in my mind was, this dude's from marketing. And if you're a big fan of Dilbert, or if you work within a, you know, an office environment, marketing people have a particular way of talking, which probably isn't a million miles away from how I talk. But this guy had a real, well, we would say in London he had a real patois. And he had a real kind of, I guess, ability to talk. So it was kind of interesting listening to him. But a few things kind of really annoyed me about what he was saying. First of all, he needs to get his facts straight. Every time an orbital came in, he was like, "Oh, that's the Meat player sending, you know, firing on the planet." And he just literally wanted to smash my keyboard in some form of nerd rage, because we, as I'm sure you, my fellow brethren, know, that wasn't an Eve player. It was the bleeding war barge. So, you know, I always worry when you get marketing people kind of trying to sell the sizzle and not really understanding the other. Now, here you go. This is a great troll. Our dropship dude, who's just obviously lost his tank and got back into the dropship, just literally scraped up my Josh onto the deck. And he's just trying to do the same to me. So this is what we have to deal with. Seriously, if people want to join our corp, you're crazy. If you do want to join, then please come along and just get ready to be scraped off buildings by asshole dropships. But as you can see, we're having fun. I was smiling as he was doing it, I promise you. But anyway, so I think the IGN cast was good. I think certainly I mean, everybody was expecting them to announce a new patch, new content, and I think really just a discussion for the veterans, if you like, on what else is coming. But I think it's just very different. Oh god, can you see what he's doing? Look at that, round and round the merry-go-round. Yeah, we probably need to remove, I think, substances from our dust mercenaries before they commit. Anyway, so I think in terms of the IGN piece, I think people were expecting maybe a little more, but to be honest, I think maybe that wasn't the right place to do it. I think you can pretty much imagine that EVE-Fest is going to have a huge amount of interest and content releases for, or at least notifications for Dust. So, don't lose faith. I think a lot of people are getting, dare I say, stale. Yeah, he just crashed it again. Don't worry, he calls it another 3. And I think really the kind of Dust player just wants to maybe hear some news about what's coming. But don't lose faith. I think it's just part of the process of the beta. And, I think it's a lot of it's a sensitive time for the game, because if they make a wrong move now, it could ruin it, and the reputation of the game could be ruined, and once that happens, you've got a big problem. So I wouldn't get too worried about the lack of content maybe at the moment. He was right in his commentary saying that they need to get, I guess, the ability to do this set first. So it makes sense to me. Anyway, I think other than that, I mean, I think it was a bit devoid of content, really. It was interesting talking to the developer in terms of maybe some of the PvE aspects. I'm really glad to hear that they're not going to make PvE, or rather their plan is not to make PvE, so he's back, is not to make PvE something that is just accessed without any risk. Do you know what I mean? Because EVE, I think, sucks at the moment because you can do PvE without ever having to PvP. And shoot players, and I think that's wrong. This is a first-person shooter, and the core of any first-person shooter should always be, you're going to, fight other players. Particularly with the mechanics of this game, it's set for it, it's perfect for it. So, hopefully, they do stay true to that. Maybe you have to earn the right to PvE. Maybe you have to capture planets or territory to then have the right to PvE, and so on. It's tricky. I think it's not an easy mechanic, so I'm interested to see how they'll do it. But I certainly kind of look forward to hearing that side of the game, because PvE is also an important point to test your fits and to test your vehicles and all that good stuff. So I think watch this space. Let's see what happens on that one. So yeah, I think otherwise it was a great thing to see. I mean, it's great to see that marketing is taking place within this product. I think that's awesome, because at the moment I think they've they're kind of dusting themselves off. Did you see what I did there? They're dusting themselves off in terms of what they've done with the technical achievement. Now they really need to figure out, how do we market this? How do we wrap this up into a product and sell it? So and I know a lot of you have been playing this for maybe even a year plus now. Then just stick with it, stay on target. You'll be I don't think you'll be disappointed. Again, as a customer of CCP for 10 years now plus, I regret no issue of everything they've done, because they are a great company. They're not like everybody else. They're not like a THQ who are just gonna spew crap all over the place and go bankrupt. CCP, I think, have a great kind of mantra of really wanting to create something of quality, and certainly where EVE has gone in years, certainly I played EVE at the beta as well, and then where it's gone from there has been astonishing, really. So I think you can expect the same level of commitment from CCP, but that does also mean you have to commit to this game. If everybody just stops playing it, stops logging in, then there's no incentive for them to commit. So I know people love to troll, and the forums are filled with rage posts and stuff like that. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Rage posts are funny, but I just also think do give them the benefit of the doubt as best you can, because I don't think you'll be disappointed with the way this game turns out. So stay on target, and you'll probably you'll see that patch appear very soon. So I think that's really kind of the main things that came from the IGN thing. So maybe let's just talk about trolling. That last tank video I did, seems to have really incensed a lot of people. So for that, I can only apologise. I think I've sparked a debate in terms of, you know, how powerful tanks are and all that good stuff. So maybe we'll do a bit more of a commentary around that later on in the next video or something. But again, I would stress that, you know, if you're the sort of person who, you know, every game you get into you spawn a tank in and kill everything, then seriously piss off. We don't want you in the game. I'm joking, but we don't want you to do that. Do you know what I mean? So try and experience the wealth of fits and experiences that you have with this game, because if you just keep trolling tanks, you suck. And if you call in a gun lodge in an ambush to basically just troll it, then you suck. I'm kidding, I'm joking. I do that as well, but you know, just try and use it in moderation. I know none of you are going to do that, are you? So there we go, 25 kills, no deaths. Not bad, not bad, particularly when I'm having a dropship trolling me all the map. So there we go, hope you enjoyed that. We're going to try and do some more tactics maps next, but the problem I have is people keep petitioning me when I do it, so I'll see how I get on. But hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.